It's time for Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. I swear the flute, it's like off key. It gets uglier every single time we do this, folks. Just like Dave's brain. So Dave Meltzer responds to this tweet. Somebody at Raven 1220 says 5 years for this company and still only 4 women get featured on a pay-per-view. How is this never discussed in a legit matter? And this is in reference to Tony Khan's inability to book women. We talked about it earlier in the show. And then Dave's response, he quote tweets it and goes, 72 years for a company, and Saturday there are 4 women featured on the pay-per-view.
Oh,
yeah, Dave, in 2 different matches. One of them's for a title, and one of them's for the Queen of the Ring.
And it's in Saudi Arabia.
And yeah, in Saudi, breaking the walls down for like culturally and shit. So then Dave goes on to say, please think out what you're saying before pushing send.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, of all people.
This man, oh.
You
would have punched him so badly, sorry.
I know. The anti-AEW act, because of your WWE agenda, is really old. Dave,
he said that? He said that?
Yes. And then Dave goes on to say, also, and then Dave says, we. He calls himself we. Also, we don't have a full card for Sunday yet. So Dave, it's so 4 women where they spent like months and doing a King of the Ring tournament building up to this match. That's awesome. But if Tony, if he just shoehorns in some women's matches he didn't build up to and didn't spend any time giving us character work or building up to, like if he just stuffs some women on the card, then that makes this, what this guy's saying, not valid. Like, you're such a dumb schmarmy prick, and I hate that. I hate that so much when Dave does this shit. Oh, we don't have a full card Sunday. That's not a fucking excuse, dude. There's only 4 women or whatever announced. I don't get all up in the air about women's wrestling and shit, but like, look at NXT, look at WWE. It's clearly a draw. It clearly works. So do more of it if you can. Tony sucks at it. Let's just be honest. Can't book luchadors, can't book women. And speaking of that, this is per Wrestling Observer newsletter. AEW talent are frustrated over the size of the roster, resulting in a lack of ring time and exposure. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, you mean like what everybody knew was going to happen, and what everybody, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
There's going to be a lot of expiring contracts this year, and there are a lot of people leaving this company because I can't see him renewing it.
Yeah, man, it's just silliness. And so sticking on the topic of and then Neckbeards pipes in and goes, correction, Meltzer is good people. So we'll circle back to the WWE Meltzer lies, but here's more Observer on AEW. AEW went from a fun place to work with the great backstage camaraderie when WWE talent for the most part were walking on eggshells, to a place with a lot of frustration from wrestlers making a nice and even great living, but not getting anywhere near the ring time or upward mobility hoped for. No f***ing shit, Dave. This is what we've been telling you.
Yeah.
This is what we've been saying, dude, forever. And you still are being a schmarmy prick about all of this stuff, quote tweeting, and we don't even know all the matches. Bro, it's...
We don't need any more. You've got 10 matches. We don't need any more.
Yeah, dude. He signed up his toys. They're not getting booked. Oh, the camaraderie backstage in AEW. Was it really, or was it just clicky and the camaraderie was in the little click you're in that's stooging you info?
Yeah.
Like these, I don't know. This was never intended to be a serious to compete with WWE, I feel like.
They in their heads it was something to compete. In the reality, it was a I don't know what this was intended to be. I think it was intended to be a pep. It's like you look back, you look at it now, and you're like, what was the point again?
Just some vanity project.
And you have to think about this. Everyone talks about the library. Well, not everyone. Well, no one talks about the library right now. We mentioned this before, the library. Who wants AEW's library?
I mean, I think the ROH library is worth more than the AEW.
I was about to say that. Like, it's like the ROH library has more history, has more value. AEW library has a exploding barbed wire ring match.
Yeah.
The ring.
It has everybody. It has a bunch of people who've never been to WWE and a bunch of people who left WWE.
Yep.
Whereas the Ring of Honor library, that whole thing is like, look at all of WWE's main fucking roster, and you see those people all over the place. So, yeah, I think the ROH one holds more value than the AEW one, actually.
Exactly.
Just in if you boil it down to just tape library. That's a great little nugget. If we added any value, I think you guys should take away from the show is that. I think you and I, Connor, just came up with that right now.
Yeah, it's like I've been saying, like the library. Like, think about it. Look back at the history of AEW. It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's like there's like Eddie Kingston saying I quit, and he didn't quit. There was
those fans that hit the ring those few times.
Yeah, it's like security. Do you exist?
Yeah, there's like Darby jumping off shit and no one cares.
People jumping through pains like Sting's retirement match.
That would be good to own that. That's a good like Sting's retirement match. Okay,
they could never air it on WWE TV though. Let's say WWE bought their library for whatever psychotic reason, just for fun and shits and giggles. You think they want to air Sting's retirement match? Maybe just throw it in, but it's like you guys own like the glass thing. It's like, what the fuck is this?
It's like, is WWE gonna buy Ric Flair's last match? Yeah, I actually hosted his last match, and I did it because I'm sponsored by Manscaped, and I'm actually also selling live. Yeah, and he had 2 heart attacks, and oh, come on, Eric. Now that's not fair. That's not fair now, Eric. But yeah, dude, like Flair's last match wasn't the last match. Flair's last match was in the WWE.
Was him walking to the light.
It was against HBK, one of the best matches of all time. Anyways, though, so continuing about like we're talking about AEW and Meltzer and the TV deal. So Dave Scherer, shout him out, says, my man Sean just sent me this. I know some of you argue with people that think like dipshit Uncle Dave. Stop wasting your time. They believe this is true. You are literally arguing with the kid who ate glue in the 1st grade and still eats his nose boogers. Hashtag clean your office.
God, that's a burn.
You buried him, dude.
It fits is the problem.
And so Meltzer says, he responds to someone at Ben Miller MKE who says, thank you. And it's been widely reported TNT gets more from cable companies per subscriber than any cable network besides ESPN. If that gets slashed, budgets will be reassessed across the WBD cable channels organization. Now, I don't even want to get into why what this guy's saying is fucking dumb. We need Evil Dose on to break all that down because that's his area of expertise. But I just trust me, even what that guy's saying is fucking dumb. TNT just lost NBA, bro. Like this isn't. Yeah, it's like before when they had NBA, like now, bro. I'm telling you,
they're still in the red from that merger. So.
Yeah, so and then Dave quote tweets this and goes, even if it gets, whatever less, and it will, maybe Batman, but and it will, the decrease will be far less than the NBA costs, even including advertising. NBA was a loss leader. So like look at what Dave's saying. This is what Alfred told me. What Dave's saying is that there's all of these other things losing money, but out of everything losing money, AEW's losing less money than anything else losing money. It's just like
I'm trying to find the words right now. I'm trying to find
it's just cope. It's people. Phil, you like cope? I bet people are coping.
It's the cope. NBA. That's all you need to know. It's AEW never will draw and they've been the ones blaming the NBA for their shitty ratings. So it's like
every single penny TNT got from rights fees couldn't even come close to covering covering the the NBA deal. Christ. Sorry, I gotta do it. Covering the NBA deal.
It fits is the problem.
If rights fees go from $3 to $0, and they won't, WBD financially comes out ahead. Oh, Dave, so 0's more than 3? Although the prestige, I mean, pardon me, 0's less than 3. I just dummied. I spurred out because I'm reading Dave, guys. Cut me some slack because yeah. So 0's less than 3, Dave, is what your point. You're so smartly putting out. See, he confused me, bro. I got Confucius there. Anyways, though, WPD financially
he
comes out
baffles
ahead.
us all in the chat. Me, you, everyone. Like, dude, what are you smoking? It's not even opium. It's something else.
Although the prestige of the NBA is why they are willing to overspend. Yeah, you think?
The prestige.
And they're willing to spend.
I don't want to rant. It's
like
your
he's
show.
trying to compare AEW to fucking NBA in any capacity. Yeah, well, they'll overspend on that old NBA even though NBA loses all this money. Yeah, but there's more money in it. There's more money in it, Dave. So they're not losing them as much money in the end.
Has been around for 77 years. You're comparing NBA to a 5-year-old company.
Yeah, like, and also you can't.
I have no words.
You can't compare it because there's more money in NBA.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So like they're gonna lose more. Like they're just bigger on just like a global, even scale, grand scale, national scale. Local
NBA,
scale, like
NBA. I know NBA. I can go to anyone in the street. Do you know what the NBA is? And they'll be like, "Yeah, I know what the NBA is."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could go to like other places in the world and people know what the NBA is. You know, so
people want to come here and be a part of the NBA.
Yes,
no one wants to come here and be a part of AEW other than
so Dave's like, well, they're willing to waste more money on this than this because of its prestige. And they're willing to overspend, but it's not overspending, Dave. Like, yeah, it's nuts, man. Like he really just doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, that's why I need to bring Dose in, because sometimes I'm like at a loss for words, and I start.
Even Dose will be like,
I know.
How the fuck did this guy get to where he is? Like, where does it last? Where does it stop? Where does the madness stop?
Yeah, dude. So moving along though.
Oh god, it's more.
Oh, of course, dude. we're loaded up. And this week
Meltzer says what must be making a lot of money.
No, he doesn't even have a blue check, man, and that's why
he needs to get a blue check.
He should, yeah.
Because this guy just writes itself. Good lord.
So he goes on to speak about the profitability of AEW, and Meltzer says
negative?
Yeah. And how the company has helped the wrestling business overall, including WWE, after 5 years.
I could agree with that because it's made people see like what is good television. I'll agree with that. It was probably not intended, but I don't think AEW has been good for the wrestling business on the indies or any other market.
I don't think it's been good for Japan or AEW itself or
Japan. I forgot about Japan.
Or the indies. I think they heard a lot of that stuff.
Indies have flatlined because even here's the thing. I feel like GCW, the game. It was a great company at one point, and then they've got, and power to them. It's very hard to get where they're at right now, but they're a great company. I love them. I love their work. I love the stuff they put out. But the problem is, like, I don't want to blame AEW for their plateauing, but there is something there. Now these guys can jack up their prices because I'm signed to AEW.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, you're right, dude. You're right. And then also just like kind of poaching, like not poaching from New Japan, but they fucked New Japan up, dude. And then so Dave goes on to say, Wrestling Observer Radio, they go on to say, has it been a profitable business? Not yet. I know that when they started the business, no matter what anyone says now, I don't think they were starting a business to make a profit in 6 years. Dave, you liar!
Yeah.
You goddamn liar! Oh, I need that. I need that on the soundboard. Dave is a goddamn liar.
Tell me something we don't know.
Bro, that is
we don't know at this point.
They said after 5 years it would be profitable.
They said that they would have better ratings than Raw. How is that?
Yes, and fucking Christ. Dave himself said that in 5 years they'd be profitable. Wait till the new TV deal comes up, and then it's going to be profitable at the 5-year mark. Well, we're there, dummy. Holy shit. 1 year away,
6 years in, and they have made.
I don't think they were starting a business to make a profit in 6 years in. You fucking Dave, you lied because that's what you guys said. Now, is this Dave? This is Wrestling Observer Radio. It's all Dave if it comes from Wrestling Observer, period. It's Dave or Alvarez or one of these monkeys, okay? So anyways, Meltzer goes, I think they knew full well that it would not be profitable in 2019. Could not be. was going to be a big losses that first year. Yeah, everyone knows that. That's called starting a business. So Dave goes on to say, but I think the hope was that by 2020 or 2021, that it would be profitable. Yeah, no shit, Dave. That's any business. And that's what you hoped. And that's what you were fucking perpetrating. And people were saying that's not going to happen. And you, nope. And even now, but now that the TV deal ain't coming, you guys are switching your fucking tune. Anyways, Dave says certain things happened. It did not get to that level, or whoever. Sorry, maybe not Dave. They spent a lot more on contracts, I think, than expected over the years and things like that. So everything PWT has ever said was right, Dave, is what you're fucking admitting. Everything PWT has ever said is fucking right about AEW, because I'm a real fan. And I actually want this shit to survive. Unlike you just want to be right about what's good wrestling. I'll be wrong. I'll hate on Damage Control, and then they'll win me over. I'll be wrong, dude.
I think a very good thing for a promoter to be, because I once was thinking of being a promoter, was you have to know when you're wrong and how to figure it out.
The Observer goes on to say, at the same time, it accomplished something that no other company had done. It helped spring pro wrestling to their biggest period it has had since the end of the so-called Attitude Era. Helped WWE greatly because they had to up their game. And when they upped their game, their business went up. So, yeah, I mean, we talked about that earlier in the show, and it absolutely... it's the truth. You know what I mean? These AEW goofs, tough, harsh words, buddy, harsh words. No, but these AEW goofs don't understand that this style of wrestling is not sustainable. This is awesome will soon not be awesome anymore. Forced to constantly raise the bar, destroying their bodies and careers in the process. I mean,
amen.
Yeah, amen, brother. That's what it is. And when it's we say hot shot booking, it's not really that, like, on a technical scale, but it is in a sense that if you're dropping Danielson on his neck and then 2 weeks later he's going to be in Anarchy in the Arena after we just saw him like seizure out, then like we don't care if people get dropped on their neck. If every match on the card is 20 fucking minutes long, then I don't care about the 20-minute Broadway banger 60-minute time limit. Every match goes 28 fucking minutes. If like, and we talk about it all the time, but exactly, it's the key thing in capital letters right there. It is not sustainable. The style's not sustainable. It doesn't progress talent. The just these great matches with great. We just saw that tonight, or this morning rather. Today, Saudi Arabia. Those were all great matches. Nia Jax had a banger that I'll actually remember for some of those. She won the Queen of the Ring out of it. Whereas like Tony, he does 8 tournaments in a fucking year. Then I don't care about tournaments. So it's just not sustainable. Your body gets beat up. You look at Kenny Omega, he's hurting. And you're just absolutely right, Derek Hans.
It's a very unfortunate. These guys are about
fortunate. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Unfortunate. It's not. It's like they need it. I've always said reality checks are good things, and when you live in your own fantasy world, you forget that the bill comes due. Not to sound so esoteric, but it's like everything will eventually come to. You can only push your luck so far before luck asks for its money back.
You're just right. And like Ospreay, how long can he keep doing that? Danielson,
this
is what WWE feared. What's happening to Danielson right now is what they feared, and that's why they're like, you got to just retire, dude.
You got to retire. We can't keep this up.
Yeah, like we can't be responsible for letting this happen. It's not even like it's out of your hands.
I have a question. What would happen if someone actually died in the ring?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, the show would go on, pal. Just kidding. I don't want
to be Mr. Gloom and Doom here, but you got to think about it. Like, look at Darby Allin. He's almost.
That's what I mean. What's he gonna do at this Anarchy in the Arena? I'm fearing that because he's hurt. Right, he just got hit by a bus, dude.
Bryan Danielson and the two people that I'm most worried about in that match are Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin. I should not be worried for their health, in a shoot sense. You need to be worried if they're going to lose a match, not if they're going to kill themselves.
Right. That's what it is. That's what it is, dude.
I should be more worried if they're going to win. But I'm more worried, are these guys going to die? Am I going to see a dead body in the ring for the first time?
I know. That's what it is watching Darby and Guevara. I feel like that watching Shotzi Blackheart, too. I know people love Shotzi.
Shotzi, I think she's been tamed a bit. But the rest
she sketches me out, though, when she's doing shit.
I mean, yeah, I know she broke her ankle or shin or something, but
yeah. So speaking of matches and cooperation and this
yeah.
and that, so at Meltzer said what? Speaking of him earlier, Alvarez talks about it's top secret. It's top secret what AEW is doing. So here's Alvarez.
He beats him. They announced that Shibata is now qualified for the qualifier. Okay. Now I think I've got it figured out because they didn't tell us. It's one of the many problems. They don't tell you what's going on.
Alvarez actually being smart and shooting here, folks. We like this. Shout out Alvarez. Here we go.
Like it.
It's top secret what the matches are going to be. They don't even tell like the production people until like an hour before the show.
Oh, that's
I'm not even making that up. Nobody
that makes a lot more sense.
Anything. He keeps everything top secret from everybody.
Oh yeah, I keep it under lock and key, and I actually keep it in a time traveling vault like Time Cop. I actually hired him to do security detail. It's top secret.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Keep going.
Which is another story, but I'll get to that later.
Remember,
he beats him.
Remember Vince would do that? Oh, rip up the whole show and just write a new show, pal. And then that's what Tony's doing. Tony McCon. Tony Mick.
I think you made a new meme.
I did, bro. I did.
Oh God, these.
So these are from 5 days ago. We didn't go over it on the show, but as you guys can see, your boy Phil Marks, I stirred up the shit and the drama as far as just criticizing. Like I tweeted this out and then it got 33.4k views and then it got 239 likes, but then 131 comments, and a bunch of them are people like, oh well, you don't remember any, no one can name 5 Roddy Piper matches and shit. And it's like, Roddy Piper main evented WrestleMania. So this is why Roddy Piper got brought into this. Sorry, I just skipped over a bunch. Sorry. Yeah, this is from like a week ago, so it's not as fresh as my mind. So anyway, let me give the backdrop here. So I think SmackDown Hotel posted this, and these are the star ratings for AEW matches, like focused matches of not this week or last week, but the week before, correct? Okay, so Resurgence was the New Japan show, then you had AEW, and he gave all of these matches, like read these. Moxley versus Shota Umino got 4 3/4 stars. Kingston versus Gabe Kidd, 4 3/4. Shingo Takagi, Yuya Uemura, 4.5. 4.5, 4.5, 4 1/4, 4. Like Dax Harwood and Okada got 4 stars, bro. We were like, we almost turned the stream off. I was live streaming and we almost shut the show down early because that match would not fucking end. And
that's what I'm dreading tomorrow. It's like they're going to do 10 matches and they're still going to overrun. I got to get up. I mean, I thank God it's on there's a Monday week. You know what I mean? Like, thank Christ we have a Monday off. And then there's a qualifier match. Why is there a qualifier match on the pay-per-view?
I know. There's a title eliminator for the New Japan belt on the AEW pay-per-view. Like, you can't make up how fucking stupid this is, dude. And so what I quote tweeted this picture, and I said, every AEW match from this week was better than every Roddy Piper match ever, according to Meltzer. And then I put the flute. Yeah, and it's just like, and then people were arguing that, like, you can't remember any
Roddy Piper.
Here, let's scroll down and read, because some of these are like, name any Piper match besides, and then the guy names like 5. How many of you actually remember any Roddy Piper match? And I respond to this and go, this dumb tactic you NPCs do doesn't work, because none of these matches up here will ever be remembered. Meanwhile, Roddy Piper main evented WrestleMania, dude. It will live in infamy. Boom. Fucking Phil Marks dropping fucking bombs on people. And, people... Sorry, go ahead.
The only thing that I can think of that will live in infamy or fame from AEW was CM Punk. And we never saw the end of that. We never saw the end of it. Even while he was in the company, we never saw the end of it.
And then this guy goes, Dash and Chase, shout them out. I don't know if they're in the chat, but just a good supporter of PWT goes, pulls it up. Like Piper versus Bret Hart for the IC title, 3.5 stars. Like, come the fuck on,
Steamboat Ric Flair. I know Ric Flair is not the most popular in the world, but we've got matches that go back generations that were much better than whatever cockamamie.
And then like this guy goes like, I mean, it would be hard to beat a Piper match. It wouldn't be hard to beat a Piper match. Are you fucking kidding me? Piper, you guys are gonna disrespect my guy? He was a great talker, but then the bell rang. Highlights of his career: dog collar match, the Coconut Mania. Dude, he didn't have why? Because the bell rang, and then what? He threw really good punches and did stiff, real.
You look like you could kick your ass.
Yeah, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Way more than Moxley can. Jesus Christ.
So I respond and go, this is false for one. For two, all of that shit is more memorable than any match Dave gave 4 stars to last week. Doing moves athletically doesn't constitute good pro wrestling. Well, it's only one aspect of it, and that's
I noticed something else. I think I commented on this. When you look at what Meltzer does in his streams or whatever podcast, how many times does he say match? It's like a binky to him. You know what I mean? It's a good match. It's like a crutch. It's like how I'm saying it's like is the amount of times he said match good match. It's never about the story. And it's never about the context. It's about the match and the athleticism.
I know he doesn't care about build up or anything. And then this guy, same thing. Send me 3 Roddy Piper matches that you would give 4 stars. It's like, bro, it doesn't matter what I would give 4 fucking stars to, because I'm not sitting there telling you that my subjective stars are fact. That's what Dave does. We covered it on the show. Yeah. He claims that his shit is objective reality, bro.
His shit doesn't
not that. Basically. And then you have all these guys crying about it on Twitter. Where am I crying, bro? I played my flute. I'm just a lowly old flute player over here. Why are you telling me I'm crying, bro? I enjoy playing my flute. Yeah, just other people here. I want to see some of the IWC start doing their own star rankings. We do it on the show sometimes. We all need to ignore them. I'm just like, nah, I'll stay roasting him forever. Like, I'll just roast him and have fun doing it forever.
Make a saute for like it.
It's just his opinion. You don't have to pay attention to it. Yeah, but he claims it's not his opinion, and he claims it's objective fact. And I do have to pay attention to it because it's all everywhere whenever he rates shit. So
exactly.
Yeah, you guys that's just shut the fuck up. And then the last one here on AEW stuff is that there is a potential scandalous story developing. Fabled Figure 4 F4W peripheral contributor and women's wrestling promoter Ed in San Antonio has been given a Stephanie McMahon-like slap to the face by Tony Khan. What? This could be a crack in the AEW F4W foundation or something more sinister. Or he says, could this be? Sorry, I'm dyslexic. So at Meltzer said what? That's per him. But so basically, there's a guy named Ed in San Antonio who has been, he's like a guy for them. He leaks stuff, I don't know, but Ed Laredo, who is doing a show in conjunction with these Observer Figure 4 convention this weekend in Las Vegas, had 5 women pulled by AEW ROH and is looking for women in California, Nevada, or Arizona to work a Saturday afternoon show at, and then he gives the email. So Dave's like trying to help his promoter buddy, Ed Laredo, get some women talent for this weekend. So that's what's going down this weekend, because AEW and ROH pulled 5 women off of dude shows, and this is like this is a Wrestling Observer contributor, so somebody who, as you can see, Ed Laredo. So does anyone know any really good women wrestlers in the Vegas, Arizona, Cali area that can wrestle in Vegas at noon on the 25th, live right now as we're speaking? Let me know. I may be able to give them an opportunity. And yeah, you look down here, and we're live from Las Vegas with a roundtable featuring Brian, Vinny, Ed in San Antonio. So he's just highlighting, like, Ed's their guy. He's one of their, little Muppets who AEW, so great. Like, one of those guys. And I don't know, AEW just pulled a bunch of their talent for this weekend. 5 women talent. There's only 4 on the Double or Nothing card Double or Nothing card, pardon me, from what we know. Maybe he'll insert some more on the pre-show as we talked about, but I don't know, man. A Wrestling Observer guy, right, who's like really tight with them. AEW's like, nah, we're pulling people from your show. And Meltzer said what is just saying, yo, could this be a crack in their foundation? Could it be something more sinister? What are your thoughts, Connor?
I really don't think it. I think it's just, if they're under contract, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And what is this? What's this? What is this? A woman's show?
I'm not sure. Yeah, let's look at this poster here. So it's
an all women's show, I guess.
Yeah.
What? Pottersees?
And he calls himself Ed in San Antonio Productions Presents. Like that's what they call him on the show.
I've never heard
their radio show.
I know the arena. I do not know this company. So
yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest here. It's like what he can probably give them is better than opportunity than what AEW is going to give them, because all the women's matches, and here's, you can call me a sexist all you want. It's like they're popcorn matches. There are very few women wrestlers there are very few women wrestlers in this world that I would put over as being like actually charismatic, interesting, can kick ass. Like Jenna Kai from MLW, she's great. She's a little small, but she looks like she's scary looking. Let's be honest. She's attractive. I would say this: you can kick ass and look good doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the point here.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. She can kick ass and make look good doing it.
And I highly suggest everybody check out MLW and OVW if you're ever just like, oh, I want to watch more newer wrestling, and like
MLW's
I'm on YouTube.
Okay, but TNA's got some. Well, TNA had some good stuff.
Well, just on YouTube, you can just throw it on. It's easy to watch OVW.
MLW. Don't pay for it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there is, because they have been more critical of AEW, and maybe Tony Khan was like, oh no, fuck those guys. But I doubt that would ever.
MLW, and the funny thing about MLW is that they should have sued Tony Khan because he poached more of their talent than anybody else.
Yeah, dude, real.
They could probably made a lot more money a lot quicker than dragging out, because they decided they made $20 million they had a $20 million lawsuit, and it went nowhere. But that's a story for another day.
well, with that in mind, that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week.